Entering this year, we knew students, staff, and families would face many challenges. The old ways of doing things would not work in the environment of uncertainty that had been produced by a solid 6 months of COVID ransacking our country. As such, many things had to change for students when it came for them coming back in the fall. Tonight, I'd like to highlight some of the ways we've adapted this year and how, in some ways, we have stayed the same. We've worked really hard to better understand technologies that we previously hadn't used much or at all. We found ways to make connections with our greater communities and families through Zooms. Never was this more present than in the month of March, with family members zooming in or recording themselves reading stories to our classrooms as mystery readers. In fact, for many classrooms, participation in mystery readers is at an all time high, as families are more adept to using the technology, and that medium allows a greater access to our classrooms when overall access is so limited in our buildings, which is a big change for this year. Other ways that students have tried to make connections with others outside of our school community was creating thank you cards for frontline healthcare workers or supporting Say Hello Week. A fun activity that first grade students participated in using social media was to request Valentine's cards from friends or families across the country. Not only were the students excited each time a letter came, but teachers would frequent their mailbox in anticipation for when and from where the next letter would come from. Without a doubt, we tried to keep some things the same for students who are at Shields this year. For instance, although we were in distance learning when holiday break came around, we were able to celebrate our return with blow ups like we have in previous years. Other things that have stayed the same is that students are just working hard on understanding things around them and improving their skills in math, reading, science, and social studies. Whether they're searching for fossils in chocolate chip cookies or working on their center work, they were working hard, albeit a little bit more distance from their neighbors. Students are producing fun projects or just having some fun.
Thomas Jefferson. My name is Thomas Jefferson, and I was the third president of the United States of America. When I was little, I loved to learn, and my dad taught me how to hunt. I had to be very quiet so the animals would not hear me or my dad. Sometimes I read because I love to learn, and it is quiet. I invented two things. First thing I invented is a lap desk, and I made it out of wood.
At Shields, we still love our dress up days, and we still love dressing up our hallways and doors, especially when March's reading month rolls around. And don't forget, our teachers are always finding ways to get our kids to read, whether in the class or outside on our new walking path. Just this morning, our students were able to do a Zoom author visit with Sandra Markle, who did a great presentation talking about lots of science topics and her books. And we're doing a modified version of Riff, where reading is fundamental. Students are having a great time with that. As the time goes on, we'll definitely welcome a return to normalcy, but we know that our students are still on the right path. And with a little luck, perhaps from Lucky the Leprechaun who visited us the day before St. Patrick's Day, our students will look back at this year, yeah, that year with mask, and be able to say, we made it. We had some fun, we learned a lot, but I hope we never have to do it quite that way again.